What's up, guys? So today I'm starting my day out the best way possible with Chick-fil-A. Just kidding. Today we're doing a review of the Tamron 70-200 G2, and I've used this lens for about 2 weeks now. I shot an event in Vegas with it, and it's pretty much the only lens I use for the whole time. So we'll go over some of the key features and really why I love this lens. I do have it adapted to my Nikon Z6, and that is the camera that I use this with the entire time. So if you guys have a Z6 and we're thinking about getting a lens, or already have this lens and we're hesitant to buy the body, I can let you guys know these work great together, and I did not have any issues with focusing or any kind of mechanical stuff based on using the adapter. If you get the firmware update using the tap-in console that comes with the lens, you guys should be fine and ready to go. But anyways, let's get into the review. My life is a lie, so I just did the perfect take and didn't even press the record button. So take 5,000. Today we're doing the review of the G2 70-200 Tamron, and I'm going to talk about some of my favorite things about this lens. I pretty much use this as my go-to lens now. It's really a versatile lens and it has some excellent image quality. So one of the things about this lens is the color and contrast with it is really good out of the box. So when I shoot with this, I shot a lot of JPEGs at the event, and I was happy with the way they turned out. So I did some minor tweaks in Lightroom to some of their favorite portraits and pictures, but a lot of them they just wanted me to send into them in bulk. So I deleted the bad ones or any ones that were out of focus and kept all the good to semi-good ones because they wanted content for their website. So I gave them all in JPEG, and then my favorite, probably 500 pictures, I edited in Lightroom and sent to them. But for the most part, the color rendition and the contrast on this lens, on the standard picture profile on the Z6, had some images that popped and looked pretty good. So I'm happy with that. In terms of optical performance, this thing is razor sharp. So it's not as sharp as the Nikon 70-200 FL in the center, but that's only by a slight margin. So that's if you're a serious pixel peeper. This thing is really sharp, and I can attest to that. I'll show you some of the portraits I took. I keep saying portraits, but I just mean photos. Some of the photos I took from the conference with this, and some pictures I took with my dog and other stuff like that. Because I did get this not too long ago, and I really don't have that many shots through it. Actually, that's kind of not true. I took like 8,000 shots at this conference, but we'll talk about the body now. So this has a really nice build quality. It's all metal, so the lens itself is heavy. We already talked about that, but in terms of build quality, it's really solid. So there's nothing really wrong with it. Nothing's shaking around there, nothing's loose. The zoom ring and the focus ring are super smooth. They turn really well. One thing that kind of freaks me out is the zoom ring is almost too smooth. It feels like it gives real easily. And I guess that's just because I'm used to filming and shooting with the 17-55 2.8 Nikon, which is notorious for having a really, really sticky zoom ring. So that's probably just me being weirded out because I'm used to really stiff zoom rings. But anyways, other than that, this features a 77mm front thread, and you might want to get some polarizers and stuff for this lens, or just a clear filter to protect that front element because it is big. So let's talk about some of the other key features of this lens. It has a Arca Swiss mount built into the tripod foot, which is super useful if you use Arca Swiss ball heads. Now you don't need an extra plate. I do not own an Arca Swiss ball head, but I'm probably going to get one. I just bought this Manfrotto tripod that's got a fluid head on it, which, by the way, I love for actually shooting pictures with. So if you undo the fluid head all the way, it's kind of like one of those wildlife ones where they suspend it and they go up and down and all over the place. So that performs really well. But this has VC, which is Tamron's version of vibration reduction. VC stands for vibration control, so it's pretty much the same thing. It gives you up to 5 stops of stabilization, and I've been able to take pictures at 200mm at like 1/50th of a second, have them come out sharp. So it really is a serious performer in terms of VC, and I really like that on this lens, especially when shooting in low light. combined with the wide aperture, you can get some really good shots without cranking up the ISO too high. So if we look at the actual lens itself, it's got a couple buttons on there. It's got the focus limiter, an AF toggle switch, the VC on off, and the VC modes. So the VC modes are as follows. So the first one is just a standard vibration control, which is in the camera, viewfinder, and for the picture. The second one is specifically for panning. So if you own a fluid head or something like that and you're doing panning shots sideways, or you're doing sports where you're not going to be going up and down but strictly panning left and right to follow the players, that's what you're going to want to use. And the third one, which is kind of weird, I read this online on their site, and it just, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't use optical stabilization in the viewfinder, but then when you take the picture, it goes on. And that's supposed to give you about half a stop better in performance, but I'm not really sure how that works. That's just what their site says. So I've only used the first function for VC because I've been going up and down. And from the performance, I don't really think you need to switch it. It just is absolutely amazing in regards to that. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say about the actual lens. Let's go look at some of the images I've taken with it and see how it performs. What is up, guys? So we're going to review the images and kind of do a quick overview of how they look, how the lens performs, and then move on. So these are all shot in RAW, imported into Lightroom, no editing done. That's pretty much all I have to say about these images, but look at how sharp this is. This is handheld at 1/25th at 200 millimeters. The VC is just, it's insane. If you can brace your camera, the VC really helps taking a sharp shot. I mean, there's really no motion blur in this picture. The background's nice and blown out. The colors look good. You can pump them up a little bit if you like that red with saturation and stuff like that. But anyways, this lens is just an amazing performer. Here's another one, tack sharp on the eye. Really not much else to say. I mean, the bokeh is amazing, the colors look good. These are all unedited, so the renderings of these images from the lens itself really does a great job. And being able to blow your photos out like that really helps. I mean, there's tea and coffee and crap all over the table, and it really draws attention to your subject and helps a lot if you're trying to make more of a statement. Here's another fun one. So after the event, everybody went golfing. This was taken to 70 millimeters. 1/640th ISO 100, and I mean, just beautiful shot. Look at all the detail on their faces, their hands, and that's 100 times zoomed. I mean, it's really impressive optically and takes great images. Here's another one, handheld at 1/30th, and I mean, I misfocus on the eye. I focus right here because he's got these stupid eyelashes, but still, look at how sharp that is. It really is a testament to the technology that Tamron put in this lens in terms of VC. Allows you to shoot at such low shutter speeds handheld. And this was a really dark lit photo, 4000 ISO, 2.8, 1/30th to kind of bring that color up. It's shot in my basement, which is a movie theater room, so we only had one light in there and it gets really dark. So that's kind of how the lens performs in terms of images. Really just beautiful stuff. Alright guys, that pretty much sums us up. I have a couple more things to say about the lens. I totally recommend it at this price range. It's a steal compared to other 70-200s that are f2.8 and have some sort of vibration reduction. It's really just an amazing price, and in terms of performance, you can't beat it at this price range. I didn't notice any, I forgot to say this, but I didn't notice any chromatic aberrations or serious fringing or other stuff like that in any of the images. So a lot of people say that Tamron has a problem with a bluish color cast. I didn't notice it too much, but those things aren't hard to fix in post. And for the amazing contrast and sharpness that this lens gives you, I really don't think you're compromising anywhere. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Put a lot of time and effort into these videos, and I hope you guys can tell. You probably can tell because the sun is no longer out, so my exposure's all messed up. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching and peace.